The rapid attack of the Mountain King had utterly demolished the hosts of Mogru. The Enedwaith went into a period of confusion that allowed for Zarazir to exploit. The chieftains of the north desired to end hostilities, but those in the south continued to fight. In the south of Kalanathan's Gap lie the region of Adon, where the chieftain Manthor made his peace. That fortress was necessary for the control of the western regions of the White Mountains. So Zaragamba quickly set on to capture the area. With the campaign over, Zarazir and Tamar returned to their respective domains. Upon the great Enedwaith stronghold of Buruk, Tal Argan discussed with their nobles for the end of the war. Many agents of the Dark Lord were there and aided in resolving the conflict. They desired mostly so that the mountain men could then focus in expanding towards the Númenórean lands. With such end results, news arrived from the east of the proceedings of the Great War. With the hosts of men and elves having crossed the Misty Mountains due to Zarazir's attack on Kalanathan, they defeated the dark hosts in Dagorlad, but not without the death of many great heroes. Now they besieged Barad-dûr and the fortress commanders of Aglarond and Angrenost demanded for the mountain men to send aid to the Great Alliance. But Zarazir declared that his war against the wild men was his contribution. Relations with the Númenóreans were getting worse, and those on the side of the Dark Lord were getting bolder. Right at this point, Zaragamba was attacked by Manthor that gathered those loyal to him, striking the Aladar from both sides. The mountain men forces were able to break the enemy in front of them, but when Manthor charged from the rear, the remaining wild men rallied, and Zaragamba was defeated. He regrouped in Athride Hengrin, where forces loyal to him were stationed, and there he rested. Back in his fiefdom of Offerwaden, Tamar began to set watchtowers throughout its main roads. This was to better protect the region from bandit raids that had plagued Kalanathan since the beginning of the war in the east. This great turmoil led to the split of Kalanathan into 3 regions, with the elves controlling the north, the Númenóreans controlling the east, and the mountain men controlling the west. This and the retreat of Aladar to Athride-Engren led to Manthor sending his forces to attack Agag The Aladar knew this might occur, so we left a strong garrison to contend against the wildmen. Although receiving many casualties, the forces in Haga were able to repel the warriors of Mantho. Hordes reached Tama of a new bandit host, plundering the countryside and attacked its watchtowers. It was commanded by a former noble of Kalinathan named Araval, like many others that rebelled years prior. But this force was stronger than previous ones, and they proclaimed armed struggle in the name of Elendil. It was rumored that Araval was given refuge and aid within the fortresses of Aglarond and Angrenost, and now he set his sights to bring back Western Kalinathan to the Númenórean fold. Tama, although quite accepting of the influence of Númenor, didn't desire to lose his fiefdom, so he clashed against the bandits. Throughout a quick skirmish, Tama evaluated the strength of Araval and saw that without further aid, he could not beat them, leaving it to flee back to Overwater, awaiting for a better opportunity to strike. With the new year arriving, Saragamba quickly set out to siege Adorn, leaving Mantho, after its defeat in Aga, without much warriors to repel the mountain men. Tama gathered his horsemen to lay an ambush in a nearby forest near the main roads of Overwaden, hoping to get Araval and his men in an ambush. But the rebels realized on time Tama's location, and the attack was called off. In Ador, Saragamba began his assault on the fortress. Easily he entered in the fortress, where Mantho held the center square. The mountain men threw at them many arrows and javelins, forcing the wild men to meet them in combat. But it was too late, and their forces were easily crushed by the Aladar of the White Mountains. The great goal of Sarazir in his war against the Wildmen had been completed. He now controlled the important western regions of Kalinathan and the White Mountains, allowing him for total supremacy in the region. And with the War of the Last Alliance raging on, Sarazir had no real threat to undermine his power. More will come in the next page of this tale. Hope to see you again in this other realm once more.